All right, so this is the Dark Knight, everybody. What's up? What's up? So you're joining the army. You're going active duty. Maybe you're joining the National Guard, and you're going into the infantry. And if you're active duty, you're going to basic training soon, and you don't know, and you know you're infantry, but you don't know what your job is going to be in the infantry. All right, so if you're National Guard, you probably had a choice of picking 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. All right, so this is the way that it's broken down. Um, it's the way that it was broken down for me. So an 11 Bravo and 11 Charlie. What is an 11 Charlie? What's an 11 Bravo? An 11 Bravo is just a regular infantryman, just straight up regular infantryman. I'm an 11 Charlie. I'm proud to be an 11 Charlie. I like being an 11 Charlie. 11 Charlie is a mortarman. Now we're both infantrymen, except there's a big debate here, and sometimes there's arguments, whatnot. I've only been in the army for like 7 months now, and I already know there's conflict between us. But an 11 Charlie does everything the 11 Bravo does, but we also shoot off mortars. So I'm a mortarman, but I'm also an infantryman. I'm an infantry mortarman, which means I could be used as a mortarman, but I'm also used as a regular infantryman. So to break it down to you, like, I didn't pick 11 Charlie, and the other infantrymen didn't pick 11 Bravo. I thought I was going to be 11 Bravo automatically, but that's not the case. So when you're going into basic training, when you go into reception at Fort Benning, this is the way it worked. I was on a bus with all my friends from Miami. I was with like five guys from Miami. And I was with a bunch of other people that were going to officer candidate school, and most of the other guys were active infantry on my bus. So that was that. I didn't really meet any National Guard guys on the bus to basic training. I didn't even know there was going to be National Guard people in my basic training up until I was in basic training, like up until I went to Sand Hill. So and I didn't meet any National Guard guys up until I got into my bay at reception at Fort Benning. You'll get your own bay and you'll get your own platoon at Fort Benning, or at reception at Fort Benning. So we all lined up. They greeted us. We all lined up, and then I remember the one drill sergeant there was like, I'm the drill sergeant. He said the drill sergeant creed. He was cursing at us, yelling at us. We all stood there at attention. And then he goes, go inside and grab a sandwich. And I thought he meant go through a certain door and grab a sandwich. So there was two doors open when we first got off the bus and went into reception after we lined up. And I thought he said go in the right door, and you could grab a sandwich if you go in the right door. And I thought he said, if you go into, well, I just thought he said going through the right door, and you can grab a sandwich. So my friends from Miami went through the left door. I went through the right door. So like everyone that went in through the left door, there'll be two sets of benches when you first walk in the reception in the infantry for basic training at Fort Benning. There'll be two sets of benches. There'll be one set of benches to the left, one set of benches to the right. Now, I'm not saying if you sit at a certain bench that you're going to be a mortarman, because that's not the way it works. It's all random, and you're going to be 11 Bravo if you sit there. Because it's all totally random. You could all be mortarmen, or you could all be Bravos when you sit down on the right side or left. But I went through the right door. I ran out of line and I went through the right door. My friends from Miami just stayed in the same line that they were in, and they went through the left door. So everyone that went through the right door, they sat down on the right side, and we all ended up grabbing sandwiches anyways, which I was like, all right, whatever, and then everyone who went through the left door sat on the left side of the benches. Everyone who sat on the left benches all became 11 Bravos. Everyone who sat on the right benches became 11 Charlies, which I was on the right side, so I became 11 Charlie. Everyone that was on the right benches was in my platoon. That was my platoon for reception, and we all became mortarmen. Everyone that sat down on the left side, that was their platoon for reception. They all became Bravos. That's the way it worked. That's how random it was. So you know, and when it came down to it, you know, I thought it was gonna be a big like random selection on who's a Bravo and who's a Charlie, because I didn't even know I could be picked as a Charlie going into basic training. I thought I was just gonna be a regular infantryman. But then all the National Guard people were saying, "Oh no, I picked 11 Charlie in my contract. I don't want to be Bravo. Blah blah blah. I want to be a Charlie." Well, little they know it's practically the same thing, except we're gonna shoot off mortars. And if there's no mortars for us to shoot off and no one to blow up, they're gonna send us in as Bravos. So I mean, there's a debate on it, but being a Charlie is a lot. Basic training, it's a lot more work than being a Bravo. Just saying basic training. Probably out here in the big army, it might not be. I don't know, but I know in basic training we carry a lot of shit, and they don't give us some of the shit that they do to the Bravos, which I'll explain that in another video. But you know, there's probably gonna be Bravos that like curse or some shit on this video, but whatever. I really don't care because it's the truth. What are you gonna argue with the truth, motherfucker? So, anyways, you know. So like everyone in our bay, where it was like, oh, we're all Charlies in here. You're gonna be a Charlie, and I was like, no, and they're like, yeah. Our basic training date is the same date. We're all gonna go to the same thing, and I was like, no, I'm a regular Bravo. You know, I'm a Bravo. And they're like, no. So you know, when it came down to it, our whole entire bay, our whole entire platoon, and our bay at reception became 11 Charlies. We went with those National Guard guys. That were 11 Charlies. All my friends from Miami, they were in a bay full of 11 Bravos. Most of them were 11 Bravos. I do know there was one guy from my platoon at basic training that was 11 Charlie that did room with my friends from Miami, but most of them became Bravos. And that was the way it was. So that's how random the selection is. They probably pick you right from the start to be in a Bravo or be an 11 Charlie. I know all the guys that I was lined up with, we became Charlies. And we all sat on the right side. Everybody who sat on the left side, that was active infantry that didn't pick their MOS from before. They all became 11 Bravos. You know, no disrespect to the National Guard people, but they all got to pick whether they were a 11 Bravo or an 11 Charlie, which us active guys didn't get to pick. Doesn't really matter though. Yeah, so that's how you get picked as an 11 Charlie or as an 11 Bravo. So I just wanted to make that clear on how you get picked as an 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. It's all completely random. From what I know that none of us chose to be an 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. It wasn't in our contract. I know like 90% of the National Guard guys, if not 100, got to pick whether they're a Charlie or a Bravo. So yeah, and a lot of them regretted picking Charlie because I'll explain in another video. In our basic training, we do everything the Bravos do. We do everything except for the last 2 weeks except when we start urban operations, we do it for a couple days. We do it for like 3 days, and the 11 Bravos do it for 2 weeks, and then that next week, you know, we go and sleep out on the mortar square, which we had 2 weeks of FTX. We had 1 week of mortar square, which is practically like FTX but with mortars, and then we had fucking FTX for a week long. And a lot of the 11 Bravos only had FTX for a week because they had urban operations the week before that. So, you know, that's the only difference in basic training is we go and do mortar square and they do 1 more week of urban operations. So yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna end this video. This is just how you're chosen between 11 Bravo, 11 Charlie. I'm gonna make a video soon on the basic training, what you do as an 11 Charlie and what you do as an 11 Bravo. You know, I know all of it because I've been there and done it. So hope you all found this useful if you're going into basic training. Love y'all. Peace.